First, let me show you how they looked in the original. These are from Lodge, and in the last discussion we talked about how the YIVO Zamlas did not have much paper. They took any scrap of paper they could and wrote things down on it. I don't know if I'll find it, but I remember one of the collectors of these laments was actually collecting at his own family's funeral. He was such a faithful Zamler for YIVO that even at his own, I don't know if it was his child or his sister, even at a personal family funeral, he was writing things down about what they were saying. So it's an amazing phenomenon.
Would these be composed before a funeral or spontaneously?
It's spontaneous, but following a certain structure. I'm going to read some of these laments. It could be very personal stuff that you don't usually hear. So this was recorded in Laskarev. I'm pretty sure it's Poland, but I'm not sure. So this is a vibe of Keverovis. A wife is visiting her husband on the anniversary of his death. And she says, Taira man Moshe Nochem, mein Süße Moshe Nochem, oi, ich hab dich nicht gekannt vergessen a lange Zeit. My dear husband Moshe Nochem, it's been a long time, I still can't forget you. Dein Mainze ist doch mir zugangen in jeden Ever. Okay, now Manse, it's Meise, like this, Meise book we talked about, but it's also a euphemism, usually for a woman's vagina, right, a vagina. But here she's using it as the man's penis, right? And she's saying to her dead husband that it's melting in every part of my body. Your whatever you want to call it, okay.
Manse.
Manse, right. Teire Moshe Nochem, zedech dorten zemin von mir, und von itzdik man. This is what I was talking about. See that you should work on our behalf, zechmien. I mean, nowadays you don't even hear this expression, but when nowadays you hear zechroine levroche, olav hasholem, right, which means rest in peace, actually. In my family, when you mentioned a dead person, you said, zol zechmien. He should work on our behalf. That was the traditional thing you said, and that's what we see here. Es soll uns nicht schlecht sein. See that nothing bad should happen to us, me and my current husband. Es ist in Zafila azoi euch nicht schlecht. All right, she says, we're not doing so badly after all. Hat euch dieselbe Teve, was du hast gehabt. Soll nicht sündigen mit dir Rede. He had the same habit that you had. May he not sin for my saying this. Hat euch lieber so eins, was du hast lieb gehabt, sehr Moshe Nochem. He really likes what you used to like, Moshe Nochem. And then she whispers, Siehste Moshe Nochem, die gedenkst, die pflegst mich so quetschen, als du hast mir schier nicht gepflegt, arois quetschen die Gedeiden von Beuch. Dear Moshe Nochem, do you remember you used to squeeze me so tight that you almost pushed out my innards out of me? And then she ends, Sei gesinnt Moshe Nochem, a guten Tag Moshe Nochem, mir dich von mir Moshe Nochem. Farewell, work on my behalf. So, okay, that's about as personal as we're going to get here. Imagine someone writing these things down.
It seemed like nothing I've ever really heard, and maybe it's because I'm trying to imagine the context in which this was uttered and the idea that there would be someone else there listening to this. It just seems so surprising, I guess.
So this is something that she wrote down? No, somebody was overhearing her?
No, someone is listening. Like, I don't know, like hiding behind the gravestone or just happened to be walking, with a pen and paper, writing it down.